You're good to go. Good evening. Welcome to the December 6th, 2023 meeting of the Town of Southampton Conservation Board. In accordance with the town board's laws of last year, we are now having a hybrid meeting. And if you wish to, anyone, member of the public, would wish to participate by asking a question, you can click on the raise hand icon, or you can also go onto the town website through the town clerk's citizen portal. And as we always request, if you wish to speak, state your name and area of residence, and we invite you to participate. Thank you. And now I invite everyone to rise and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is your pleasure on the minutes of November 15th, 2023?
Motion to accept the minutes of November 15th as written and/or amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearings, A 021084, Judy P. Gallagher. And as we have been doing, the neighbor is A 021085, SCI Cartarpa. We've been doing them together. And both have asked to adjourn to February 7th, 2024. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak to this application?
Oh, February 21st.
No, they changed it.
Oh, they changed it?
Yeah, they,
Yes.
I sent you a new agenda.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sent a late email just for the meeting.
And Kevin, I'll rely on you to speak up if you see anybody with their hand raised on the video. What's your pleasure? Is your motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn to February 7th.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 022054, Paul Basic and Lisa Gallo. The applicant requests adjournment to February 7th, 2024.
Move to adjourn to February 7th, 2024.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The reason I'm not asking if there's anybody in the public who wants to speak in this application is because there's nobody out there. You guys in the video can't see that, but I can. Advisory reports, Kurosky subdivision.
Good evening, Marty Shea, Chief Environmental Analyst for the town. This is a two-lot subdivision that's in the pre-application stage for a tract located at 20 Central Avenue in East Quogue. There are two recommended advisory comments. The first is that as a consequence of the apparent long-standing commercial use of proposed Lot 2, there is a virtual absence of any significant vegetative cover on such lot. And second, as the tract is located within Suffolk County map watersheds of Weesa Creek and Shinnecock Bay West, any stored landscape chemicals or other household / commercial hazardous materials need to be properly disposed of.
Motion to send the comments to the
Planning.
planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Board of Trustees, David Silverstein.
This is a second advisory referral for a waterfront residentially developed property on Waters Edge Road in the hamlet of North Sea. Just to give you some quick history, some years ago the applicant had constructed an unauthorized bulkhead. Both this board and the Board of Trustees had asked that that bulkhead be removed. That action was never taken. The landowners came back to the Board of Trustees to seek to have that bulkhead legalized. The trustees asked that they consider alternatives, and now they have submitted a revised plan to replace the existing shorefront bulkhead with a low sill bulkhead. So there are several recommended comments. The first is that there are no issues with the planned replacement of the existing floating ramp with an elevated light penetrable deck catwalk. However, the existing unauthorized bulkhead, wood walks and corridor, bluestone walk, and wood retaining wall need to be removed in their entirety, followed by full reclamation of the pre-existing natural shoreline, inclusive of tidal mud banks, flooded estuarine intertidal marsh, and groundsel. Second, low sill bulkheads interfere with marsh ecological functions by destroying fish, mussel, and crustacean habitat, by diminishing contaminant filtration and nutrient cycling, and by inhibiting the natural landward migration of tidal wetlands as sea level rises. Thirdly, there have been no changes to the natural environment or Fish Cove shoreline that would warrant replacement of the existing hardened shoreline with a low sill bulkhead and a new retaining wall. Fourth, the property is located in a sheltered corner of Fish Cove where water depths are shallow and where the property is shielded from prevailing winds from the northwest, northeast, and southwest, thereby negating the need for any erosion control or shoreline armoring. 5, any approval of low sill bulkhead at this location would set a bad precedence for future protection and management of Fish Cove and area tidal wetlands, as the subject property is located at nearly 2,500 linear feet of natural shoreline. 6, the use of beach grass is not appropriate for revegetation purposes, as does not naturally occur along the shoreline of Fish Cove. And lastly, in light of the above, the Conservation Board just does not support the current project plans.
Motion to send the comments to the Board of Trustees.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? For the ZBA, James Rumpus and Elizabeth Rumpus.
This is a variance application that's pending before the Zoning Board of Appeals for developed property at 19 Bayview Road in the hamlet of Noyak, as indicated by the recommended advisory comments. The property did receive a Conservation Board permit. So there are just 2 comments that are being offered. The first is that the proposed residential improvements, which variants are being sought, have already been authorized by the Conservation Board pursuant to wetland permit CB 22030 issued on August 1st, 2022. And second, the survey is prepared by F. Michael Hemmer, dated March 10, 2020, last revised November 9, 2023, which has been filed with the pending variance application, is generally consistent with the survey as prepared by Michael Hemmer, last revised January 27, 2022, which has been approved by the Conservation Board.
Motion to send those comments to the zoning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Lawrence Goldsmith.
This is a pending variance application for a residentially developed property on Windermere Close in the hamlet of Hampton Bays. There are 2 recommended comments. The first, consistent with the narrative and attachments provided with the above referenced application. The proposed activities for which variance are being sought have already received a letter of wetland non-jurisdiction. And second, there are no other significant environmental concerns related to this application.
Motion to send those comments to the zoning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Brian Farrell.
This pending variance application relates to a vacant property on Robbins Lane in the Hamilton North Sea. There are two recommended advisory comments. First is that the survey is prepared by Stephen Borowski, dated December 26, 2020, with a last revision date of August 25, 2023, which was filed with the pending variance application, is not consistent with the Conservation Board conditional approval of July 12, 2023, which required that a 60-foot wide covenanted naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance non-fertilization buffer be established rather than the 50 feet wide wetland buffer shown on the August 25, 2023 survey. And second, accordingly, no action should be taken on the above referenced application till the required revised survey is received and approved by the Conservation Board.
Motion to send those comments to the zoning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The administrative wetland permits are in your packets. Conservation Management Plan and Easement Interpretation, R 02200276, Adrian Jenny.
This application relates to a lot that is part of a subdivision approved by the Planning Board at 15 Lewis Road in East Quogue. The Planning Board had conditioned the map approval upon designation of a significant portion of the subject property as a conservation easement. The applicant subsequently constructed a man-made pond on the property, the consequence of which was that there was some disturbance of the easement area and adjacent town preserved lands. The applicant has come forward with a restoration plan that's consistent with my recommendations, as well as with the intent of the conservation easement. As such, I'm recommending that the public hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? R 02300076, Michael Anderson and Joanne Anderson.
This easement interpretation application relates to a developed waterfront property in Hampton Bays. There is a technical report on file dated December 5, 2023. The report indicates that some years ago this board had issued a permit to allow for residential improvements. That permit was conditioned upon establishment of a covenanted wetland preservation area and restored naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer. The applicant has decided not to go forward with those permitted improvements. I did have an opportunity to inspect the property, and there have been no changes to the site conditions that would warrant institution of a buffer. So the application was made so that the landowner can draft a amendment to the existing recorded covenant that would negate the need for the establishment of the restored buffer at the site. This is an application for which we have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, recommending that the public hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution of conditional approval, A 0220743, Duckwood Court LLC. Any discussion?
Motion issue.
Second.
Resolved that a conditional wetland permit approval be granted to 3 Duckwood LLC for the proposed project on the terms and conditions of both herein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A 023015, Danny R. Efron and others. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolved that a conditional wetland permit approval be granted to Danny R. Efron, Morris Efron, and David Lustig Klein as trustees of the David Lustig Klein Irrevocable Residence Trust for the proposed project on terms and conditions of what therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A 023051, DLS Partners, Inc. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolved that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to DLS Partners, Inc. for the proposed project on the terms and conditions of what therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Preliminary review of signature determination, A 022082, Erlinda Bildner. This is postponed to December 20th.
Motion to postpone to December 20th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 02210101, Eric Belfi and Tara Belfi. This is postponed to December 20th.
Motion postponed to December 20th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A 023022, Guillaume Savadier. This is postponed to December 20th.
Motion to postpone to December 20th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023025, 1106 North Sea Road LLC.
This application relates to an existing residentially developed property, which is situated adjacent to town preserved lands that take in significant area of freshwater wetlands associated with Little Fresh Pond. There is a preliminary advisory report on file dated December 5, 2023. The application has been made in order to seek a wetlands permit from this board to construct a swimming pool and deck at the property, consistent with the recommendations of my office. The pool and deck are being proposed at a setback of at least 100 feet landward of the adjacent freshwater wetlands. The pool and deck would be partially elevated so as to negate the need for grade modifications or deposition of fill. There are some minor hardscape improvements at the property that need to be addressed, including a block patio on the landward side of the residence. There's a rear patio that was constructed without requisite permits. The applicant has agreed to scale back that patio so that no portion would extend within 100 feet of wetlands. The pool is going to be a no chlorine pool so that there are no concerns of regarding possible adverse impacts to the adjacent freshwater wetlands. The plans that are before you adhere to all of the requirements of the subdivision map in Chapter 325. There is sufficient information to make a determination. As such, I'm recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing?
Second?
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023052 Sandpiper Waters LLC.
This application relates to a residentially developed property in West Hampton that has frontage on Mauritius Bay. The application was filed in order to address a notice violation that was issued for construction of a framed exterior shower, as well as the building of deck, steps and landing leading from an elevated pool deck to the shower. Upon receipt of the application as described in the November 30, 2023 preliminary advisory report, I asked that the applicant install a drywall for the shower, which will be positioned under the home as house is raised on pylons. I also found that there are tidal wetlands along the easterly property boundary on the adjacent lot. So I have asked that a covenanted naturally vegetated buffer be established along the east side of the lot and along the bulkheaded frontage on the bay. The landowner had at some point placed stones to create a berm along the east side of the property. I've asked that those stones be removed. The areas that would be affected by the covenant are currently sand, so I've asked that those areas be planted with beach grass. This is an application for which we have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, I'm recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing?
Second?
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023054 Lucy Jensen.
This application relates to a residentially developed lot on Oaks Avenue in the hamlet of Flanders. There is a advisory report on record dated November 30, 2023. The property has some history with this board, as you had previously issued a permit to repair, partially reconstruct and elevate the home and various decks in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. That permit was closed down through issuance of a certificate of wetland compliance. The home is in close proximity to tidal wetlands, which are county preserved and associated with Goose Creek. The applicant is looking to put a second shed on the property in a location that neither conforms with the wetland law or the building and zoning code. They're also looking to significantly expand the existing rear deck seaward towards the Goose Creek wetlands. Because of the close proximity of the residence, there's no opportunity to establish covenanted buffer to offset those impacts. So I've asked that the architect and landowner consider alternatives in which you're seeing on the screen, two alternative sketches that I provided to the applicant. One simply allows for a landward expansion of the existing deck, leaving the one shed in place. The second sketch asks the applicant to consider relocating the existing elevated shed further landward to allow for building of a larger new deck area. So the applicant is considering these options. We do have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second?
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023062, Donovan Moore and Ann Moore.
This application relates to a residentially developed property that has bulkheaded frontage on Mecox Bay. There are also naturally vegetated wetlands across a private road from the existing home. The application was filed in order to install a generator at the property. There is an advisory report dated December 1, 2023. I asked that the generator be installed on an elevated platform to conform with FEMA requirements. And the applicant has agreed to do that, and the generator will be serviced by a gas line connected to an existing underground gas tank. There is no vegetative disturbance that would result as a consequence of installing the generator, and generator would be centrally located between the bay area and the interior wetlands, so the setbacks are being maximized. As such, there is sufficient information to make a determination, and the public hearing requirement can be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution issue modification, CB 18018, Marcus Jochansky.
Motion to issue.
Second.
Well,
Wait, not quite yet.
This application relates to a property that has frontage on Fish Cove on Water's Edge Road in the Hamlet of North Sea. The property was recently redeveloped pursuant to a wetlands permit issued by the board. There were some changes that were made to the residents that need to be legalized. There was a need for supplemental native vegetation within the buffer. The applicant has since completed that restoration as specified by my office. There are no significant issues with regards to their construction changes, as they are consistent with the setback requirements previously required by this board. So this is a resolution to issue a modified permit. It's conditioned upon the applicant obtaining one further renewal of the existing permit. He's in the process of submitting that application. The issuance of the modified permit will allow the applicant to close out the existing Conservation Board permit and file for a CO with the building division.
Motion to issue a wetland permit modification.
Second.
Resolved that a wetlands permit modification be issued to Marcus Dochansky for the proposed project on the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
CB 23017, Tony Lepari.
So this modification application relates to an existing residence on Sims Avenue in Noyak. Property is marked by a cedar forest. The board had recently issued a permit to allow for construction of accessory improvements conditioned upon establishment and restoration of a maximized covenanted buffer. The house benefits from a covered entry porch and deck on its east side. Those structures are in somewhat of a deteriorated state, so the landowner is seeking to have the existing Conservation Board wetland permit modified so that they can replace those structures. The reconstruction of those improvements will not result in any new or additional adverse wetland impacts, so there's a resolution to approve the necessary permit modifications to allow the landowner to go forward with reconstruction of that entry deck.
Motion issue to modification.
Second.
Resolved that a wetlands permit modification be issued to Tony Lepari for the proposed project on the terms and conditions of in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution to transfer conditional approval, A 021016, Greg Savino and Lisa Savino.
Motion.
This is just a
It's a change in ownership,
Change.
and new landowners are amenable to all the conditions that you had placed on the prior permit.
Is there a motion?
Motion to issue a transfer of conditional approval.
Second.
Resolved that a conditional wetland permit approval be granted to Greg Savino and Lisa Savino for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution to accept withdrawal of application A 023046, Hope Marks.
Motion to accept the withdrawal of the application of Hope Marks without prejudice.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby accepts withdrawal without prejudice of wetlands permit application number A 023046. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all.
You did a good job, Marty.